Gundam.tk presents High Grade Anksha. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert, 184, 2Rs, 2Bs, GundamReviews.net, and Gundam UC Unicorn has just been an absolute dream for fans of old-school Universal Century mobile suits, and it's not just the old-school ones that have been getting some special love and treatment, but it's also complete redesigns and advancements in the forms of some very cool-looking ones, like this one you see right here, the Anksha or Anksha, whatever you want to call it. This was a late May 2012 release. It sells for 2,600 yen. Thank you, Bandai, for some fantastic looking cover art there, and you can see the name, RAS96, and from the High Grade Universal Century line, it's number 141. Some great looking cover art there, Bandai, and there you can see the name and its number, and in the High Grade Universal Century line from UC, it's number 141. At the time of filming this, I haven't seen Gundam Unicorn Episode 5, but it looks like it's going to be making a splash in that, especially because it is a waterborne suit and it's got a transformation, but it owes a lot to some of the suits that have come before it, and it takes something that was already sort of cool and makes it even cooler, and certainly one of the more interesting of the Earth Federation grunts. Zeta MSs are very familiar, as a lot of them have stuck around all the way in past Char's counterattack. But if you want to go to the one that this is based off of, the Ashimar, this one is going to be, it only was released in 1/2/20th before finally getting a high-grade Universal Century release, which is certainly going to be cool. I do like the fact that if you get this little tiny one, it's going to come with a little tiny transformed version as well. And with the Zeta Gundam movies cleaning up at the box office, here it was, the HGUC Ashimar, 2,100 yen, and you can see that this one's actually going to transform, but there's a lot of similarities, especially in the shoulders and the head section. For the box tour now, you can see the similarities there, but you've just got a much more clean, newer, modern design. Starting with the feet that are looking very cool with some cool parts sticking out on the side. You've got these binders and some lances coming down, and you've got that red cockpit, a ridiculous looking waist. But it's the shoulders and head that look so dumb and yet cool at the same time that's why I think a lot of people want to get them, including me. On the back, you can see some more panels there sticking out of the backpack, and it's going to show him fighting the Unicorn Gundam, involved with some mid-air flight there, and you can see some line art. This was designed by Katoki Hajime, and you've got a head height here of 22.3 meters, which means for a grunt, well, especially transforming Zeta style, that's not out of the ordinary, but it should tower over a lot of kits on your shelf. To the other side, where you can see that it's got some great looking action poses here, as it's on this base, which is going to be included. It's got details in the head and some good shoulders. The elbows can move well. Very cool that this ridiculous looking head can slide forward as well as move up and down, it says. And the binders on the side are going to slide, but it's the transformation as it goes from this cool pose into this ridiculous looking circle. But anyway, because it's old school, yes, it's cool. And you've got a Jagan that can ride on it here. It's the subflight system. It's going to have some custom, it's going to have a custom attachment point that you'd plug into the action base attachment point here, and some extra handles. The display stand is going to have two. And over here, Bandai has an unpainted version where you get to see it both transformed and it's in an MS mode. Jagan, of course, is going to be sold separately. But it's interesting to note that they do include this small base, but they are going to be showing it off on an Action Base 1, which would sort of just make sense that they've got two of them up there. But then again, you wonder if it's just going to be a little bit too large for a conventional Action Base 2. Inside the box, you're going to be getting the manual here and a big set of stickers. That's not encouraging. Green for the A-plate, more of this dark green. Beam sabers of one piece of red, gray, light green, and you've got this attachment point for the base and a clear part there for the head, it looks like. No multicolored A-plate, and even though it's got space for it, it seems like Bandai would rather do small parts, as we've been seeing with the age kits, rather than put them on here. In terms of the interesting parts, you've got lots of little details there in raised sections, but of more interest is going to be these round sections that are going to make up the donut ring here for the chest and head. B1 and B2 are 1.5 plates here, and you've got some big parts there for the side binders. This is a really nice green, and I think it's going to be a nice complement with the darker green that you already saw on the A-plate. And you can see that this is going to make up a large part of the limbs and these cool little spike parts that are going to be popping out all over the place. C1 and C2, you can see here, is just going to fill up a corner, and you've got some big parts there for the waist and backpack. The manipulators are going to be complete hands here that are just going to hold the weapons. And it's got a set of closed fists, some interesting looking parts there that'll be used in the transformation, and the side binders are going to have that gray part sticking down, and this should allow them to slide up and down as well. Two identical D plates are going to wrap up the colored section here, and these should probably be going on the shoulders, but they're still looking very cool. Lots of these little round parts have these little tick marks, and you're going to see that those are going to be used. You've got seals that can fill those in, so you won't have to do too much lining, I suppose. And even though there's a lot of plastic just in terms of the number of plates, it's only going to go up to E here, while there's some little throwaway ones after. But this one is going to be ABS plastic, and this is going to make up the inner frame with all those movable parts. And here is F1 and F2, where you're going to have, in addition to this part, which is going to sit in the cockpit for the chest, you're also going to have this old school one, which is not going to be yellow. They don't give you the ability to put a yellow piece in or anything like that. They do have a seal that'll cover that up poorly, and you're going to have a clear section there for the eyes, of which the jester approves. And a familiar BA1 base one here, which is going to give you the two parts, so you can have the Superman pose coming forward for MS mode, or standing up, and an extending point, and you can also have them both in there simultaneously. For the polycaps, it's going to be PC132. When you see a sticker sheet this large, it's bigger than some of the plates, it looks like, as big as the polycaps anyway. It's a little bit discouraging, but you can see that a lot of these little gray tick marks are going to fit into those round areas and hopefully add just a degree of mechanical realism to it. Also, all sorts of yellow ones. This one here that's going to go onto the middle area of the waist section is going to look pretty poor, I think. Some green stickers and some white ones, which are going to provide a little bit of color on the back of the flaps. So some of these good, some of them bad. It would have been nice if it was all plastic, but probably impossible. Old school manual cover there. The model is looking great, and that's the reason primarily why I wanted to pick this up, especially in that MS mode with that cool looking attacking pose with the leg up there. And the MO mode actually looks like a lot of fun. Down below, you can see they're talking about the Ashimar there, and you can see some of the other UC kits, HGUC kits from Gundam UC. And this is going to be the transformation first, as you take everything off, play with the upper body, then you're going to fiddle around with the legs. Once you get the donut disc, you're going to take that and attach the legs onto the bottom. They're going to be giving you a custom attachment point, and they show you how to take the jeggin and put that onto the back. The plates are laid out here with B1, B2, C1, C2 shown separately there, and then you've got two of the D plates. And you're going to put together the chest, which is going to look a little complicated because of the transformation. The backpack, that head of course is going to be probably the most interesting thing to put together. Although the shoulders are going to give it a near running. The binders are looking very cool, and after you build up the legs and you've got the beam sabers that you can put in and take it onto the action base, you're going to put this all together. And you can see it from the back here, and this is some of the features we've already seen on the side of the box. Some more anime scenes, and if you want to go and paint this up, there's the color guide down below. But overall, that is looking cool, and I can't wait to see it animated and plasticized. So a fun unbox, and even though there is a lot of plastic, the fact that it's only got up to E for plates just sort of means it's not going to be all that complicated, but it's certainly going to look cool, I think, once it's put together into MS mode. Donut mode remains to be seen. The stickers I'm a little bit wary of, but the fact that they're going to give you an action base and you can put it on an action base 1 is encouraging, and you are going to be getting the bonus of beam sabers and a little red part and a clear part for the visor. Tons of positives, but in the end we got to see how it's going to look once it's all put together, so stick around to see the parts and the MS and transformation. And as always, please let me know what you think of this. Have you seen it in the anime? Did it rock your world? Or is the Ashimar in the Zeta Gundam movies still going to take the cake in terms of silly waterborne Gundams? Or grunt suits in this case. Anyway, everybody, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Even Captain Grudek, who never smiled, approves of a delicious donut mobile suit once in a while.